Mediabrands is approaching supply path optimization to ensure more efficient media buys and transparency in two ways. We have a traditional supply path optimization strategy where we're really looking across the entire programmatic ecosystem, so all formats that we're buying, and we look at all of the SSPs that we work with, the demand sources from those SSPs. We work with third-party resources to understand what the quality is there, and then what the connectivity is to the DSPs. So there's a very robust strategy and practice in place to make sure that we have the most straightforward and direct integrations to our publisher inventory. We have an entire marketplace set up with premium quality inventory, and then brand suitability and brand safety measures in place when we're buying on the open exchange. I would think the other way that we're doing it, which is a bit newer in what we've been talking about as a post-supply path optimization ecosystem as it relates to CTV, is looking at ways to deliver more efficiencies to our clients by testing new technologies in this space. So there's a lot that's needed in terms of a DSP when you're looking at display and OLV and mobile app. There's a lot of decisioning that needs to be made, and it makes a lot of sense. And sometimes in CTV, when you're buying from really premium publishers and you know exactly what you want to buy and you want to use their audiences, you don't always need to be paying such a high technology cost for that. So oftentimes we're looking at ways to truncate the supply chain so that we can deliver more efficiencies, better audiences, more fidelity and audience matching to our clients. And then in that way, we've seen a lot of scale and a lot of progress. We've tested with Clearline, with Magnite, and on the publisher side, they've been really happy with the results. They know exactly who's buying and what we're buying, and that really helps them manage their supply. And then on the activation side for our clients, we've seen that we've been able to drive efficiencies that we hadn't in more of a traditional programmatic experience.
Perfect overview. Turning to just focus on the CTV aspect of all that, the accessibility of CTV is changing the way advertisers have been thinking about the definition of premium video and offering greater targeting precision and dynamic ad opportunities. How does Mediabrands approach CTV differently from traditional TV and other digital channels? And what key strategies have been most effective in driving success for clients?
So clients and Mediabrands together are approaching CTV differently than linear by utilizing audiences in a different way and also utilizing the technology. So we've seen obviously a massive increase in users on CTV platforms. That's where so many of our consumers are, and it's growing year over year. So we're looking for ways to bring our audiences and our goals from an advertising campaign closer to that inventory. I think programmatic and technology and the right of refusal of an impression is really important in that space. So we're looking at what platforms like a Clearline and a Magnite are able to deliver that for us, where we can start to say, yes, this is inventory that we want to buy, but perhaps we want to do the geo-targeting on our side and we want the publisher to deliver the audience from their side. So there's really this kind of meet in the middle that these platforms are able to deliver for us, where publishers have a certain level of control and expectation and understanding, and advertisers also have a certain level of control and expectation and understanding. And then we figure out what are the data signals that we need on both sides to deliver something that's really specific to that advertiser.
So well stated. Turning to data, for pretty much everyone agrees it is the critical piece of media buying. But now there's a growing focus on leveraging data directly from the supply side to drive more effective audience targeting and campaign performance. How is Mediabrands integrating supply side data into its overall media strategy, and what advantages does this approach bring compared to traditional audience targeting methods?
So Mediabrands is using publisher data in new ways all the time, and I think that there's a couple of ways that we're seeing are really effective today. So the first is just using the publisher's data. In a lot of ways, we're asking the publishers to let us know what matches with whatever strategy we have for an advertiser. And then in another way is looking at the data together, doing first-party data uploads from our advertisers and figuring out what the overlay is and where the appropriate audiences are, and then ingesting that through a programmatic guarantee or a bid request or even a direct IO, where we're using their data to do the targeting.